Bonjour tout le monde, est-ce que vous m'entendez bien? Il faut que je me positionne comme il faut. Welcome, bienvenue. Donc, je suis Mélanie, la présidente de Montréal Python. I'm Mélanie, the president of Montréal Python. Je vais switcher entre le français et l'anglais. Désolée pour mon anglais, but I tried to improve my English. Bienvenue à cette conférence MP 116 ce soir. Nous sommes en ligne, normalement en direct sur YouTube. Donc bonjour à ceux qui sont en ligne et présents. Welcome for people online and here. To start, I like to do some question to know better. Ok. On fait signe de ne pas tenir le micro comme ça. Ok, parfait. Qui est nouveau à Montréal Python? Pour qui c'est la première fois? The first time. Ok, nice. Welcome. Thanks to come in the first time in Montréal Python. Qui est étudiant? Ah, quand même. On en a deux. Student, two students. Parfait. Qui cherche une job? Ok, pas mal. Qui a des propositions de job? Some job offer? No? Sorry. I tried. Ok. Qui est développeur? Développeur. Ok, perfect. Merci. Donc, je vais présenter un peu Montréal Python pour les nouvelles personnes. Donc, Montréal Python, c'est une association qui promouvoit le langage Python. L'idée, c'est de se connecter, d'apprendre et de contribuer ensemble. So, it's an association for connected, learn and contribute with Python in community. And this association, it's only managed by volunteers. And so we search a lot of people to help the association. Donc, si vous voulez devenir bénévole à Montréal Python, vous êtes le bienvenu. On cherche des personnes pour faire de tout dans l'association et prendre du plaisir ensemble. Donc, si ça vous intéresse, vous pouvez venir me voir à la fin de la conférence. Mais surtout, on ne peut pas vivre sans nos sponsors parce que ce soir, on vous paye la pizza et ça, c'est grâce à nos sponsors qui sont Savoir-faire Linux et Python Stanford Foundation qui sont nos sponsors principaux et FGNR qui est un sponsor pour la gestion des serveurs. So we live with a sponsor, Savoir-faire Linux and Python Software Foundation and FGNR. So if you are an enterprise and you want to give money for our association, I'm here. Don't hesitate. It's helped to organize this event of workshop or PyLab, and I explained what is this event, but we live only by the sponsor and gift. So you are welcome if you want to help the association. Et actuellement, on fait un appel à candidature pour être mentor à PyLab et pour des propositions de workshop. Qu'est-ce que PyLab? PyLab, c'est en gros un événement où les gens viennent avec des envies de projet, envie d'apprendre Python et peuvent être aidés par des mentors, des personnes qui connaissent bien Python. Et l'idée, c'est d'échanger ensemble pour ces projets. Donc, il n'y a pas de sujet précis pendant ces PyLab. Chaque personne vient avec les envies qu'il a pour coder. Et on cherche des personnes qui sont capables de pouvoir leur répondre, leur dire « Ah, c'est bien ton idée, tu devrais essayer ça ou ça », ou leur expliquer des principes. Et la proposition de workshop, c'est des personnes qui voudraient faire plus des présentations sur des sujets. On a Jules qui nous avait fait des workshops sur le learning, machine learning, mais s'il veut recontribuer, il peut. Mais on cherche des gens qui ont envie de proposer une structure, un cours un peu plus qui serait sur 2 heures peut-être ou à définir, mais qui serait différente des conférences. So quickly in English, the PyLab, it's just time to work together with a mentor to help the people to learn, and the proposition of workshops to create a workshop. So the lessons, maybe 2 hours to learn a specific thing about Python. C'est le formulaire à compléter. C'est le même formulaire pour les deux. Si vous voulez faire les deux, complétez-le plusieurs fois. Selon vos choix, vous allez avoir différentes questions. Et ça me fera plaisir de revoir vos candidatures et de créer ça pour la communauté. Vous inquiétez pas, il va y avoir des QR codes l'autre côté. Donc, si vous ne l'avez pas, je pourrais vous le redonner après. So I speak a lot, but now it's time conference. The first it's Tal and present a new package maybe to replace Pipe. So it's you, the first. So thanks pour accueillir Tal avec sa première conférence sur It's Camping Python Dependency Health with You. Thanks. You forget the Wi-Fi? Yeah. No, it's okay, no problem. This. Yes, take this and land. The first one is with Quincy, and this the last. And just check the subject. Done, perfect. Maybe. Okay, perfect. And yes, we come back to the link. It's okay? No? Oh, okay. Maybe refresh your page. S'il a perdu le Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay. Is this projecting? Yeah. Cool. I will begin speaking. Oops. This all worked in rehearsal, y'all? Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we can do it that slide. Yeah. Hmm? For me or just generally? We went to share this screen, but it's not. Let's just skip we'll skip that part. That's fine.
Maybe send me the slide and I could share the slide.
Oh, sure. How will I send it to you? Should I email it to you?
Yes, email is perfect.
I don't have.
Yes.
Sorry, I will get on my.
Okay.
Don't worry. I have hotspot. Sorry. No, I'll do it. Command. I don't know if it'll. I'll make it public. Yeah. Share viewer. Don't give access. That should be fine. Great. We'll do our best. All right. It's all just as well. I didn't really have a slide, or I did have a slide, but I scrapped them. So anyway, quick preamble. I made this presentation as much for my edification as yours. I'm approximately an intermediate level and self-taught Python user. I learned what I needed to do on the job, largely on a task or a side project basis. And this year I committed to studying Python from the ground up, and I felt that the promise of UV presented an intriguing starting point. So I'm presenting it as a point in time culmination of a certain growth pattern in Python's development. And the bulk of this presentation is the chronology of that growth pattern, that of how we or Python developers and community have handled dependency management. Cool. So I want to just get a baseline here real quick. How many of you have used UV so far? All right, I like number or like count blindness, like quantification blindness, but it looks like about like a third of you. Um, who feels they deeply understand the causes of dependency hell in Python? Cool. That's if it's like way fewer of you, and that's awesome. And you guys can keep me honest at a later date. And does that term dependency hell need any further clarification? No, you are all intimately frustrated by it, I suppose. Cool. Great, thank you. As I hinted, this is intended to backfill some knowledge about Python itself for approximately intermediate users. Um, for others, I hope that it will serve as a accurate refresher. But it's all like out of order now. It was like framed kind of well, where there were like 3 flames, right? And then there was one, but you get it. Anyway, it's infernal. That's the point, right? Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, and for others. I hope that it will serve as an accurate refresher and review of how far the language has come. Sick. Great. Okay, introduction. I'm a data engineer. I came from a product management background, largely data like science and product. I've had trouble sharing data projects, or sorry, Python projects with people from day one. That's super normal, whether you're beginner or an OG, because the tooling is kind of fractured and it has a lot of leakage from earlier, not bad design per se, but things that just haven't been cleaned up. What I eventually realized that the headaches that we run into aren't random. They're the direct result of Python's design history, and fixes the community has built since then have inherited that design debt in some way or another. Great. Part 1, dependency hell. Virtual env solves isolation, but not the root cause. So, what that code? Did someone order anything? Sorry. The global interpreter is the foundational problem space of Python's dependency hell because it doesn't have true isolation. Early Python assumed a world of one system, one user, and one namespace, and that one namespace assumption is especially pernicious. Every time you run Python, you're invoking a single interpreter process that keeps track of everything your program imports and runs. And that made sense when Python was small and single user, but it means that every package you install goes into one shared environment. Pip, our default package installer, uh, its default behavior shows exactly how the legacy of that has leaked forward. Because pip itself is a Python package, it uses your default Python runtime and installs packages into the global site packages path. And then when you run Python, the interpreter walks the sys.path, and then loads the first matching version it finds. None of those binaries are namespace to any project boundary, meaning like if you needed different versions for a different project, there's no way that that's indicated in the sys. Well, anyway, they're not namespace to a specific project is the whole point here. And everything lives on one shared global context. That's the default original design, if I'm not mistaken. The community eventually realized that this global mode model is unsustainable, and tools like virtual env and later venv and pipenv emerge as workarounds. The idea of that was to essentially clone the interpreter into your project and recreate the same execution path locally, starting from that project boundary. At the file system level, this gave us isolation. Each project got its own sandbox, its own installed packages, and a little bit more predictability. Tools like pipenv went further by merging some environment management, but they still depend on pip underneath and inherited its design limitations. Pardon. I'm going to leave that open. Okay. Virtual environments were a necessary stopgap. Isolation meant copying the interpreter and pretending each clone was its own world, but it was still the same global design underneath. We managed to fix the symptom of the shared global state, but not the underlying problem. The interpreter's mutable, monolithic nature was still written into Python's DNA. Virtual env solved isolation, but not independence. So, part two, non-deterministic installations. Once we had virtual environments, we solved isolation, but we still had a dependency management problem. Pip itself has two major issues. First, Pip used a greedy algorithm, basically a first thought, best thought approach with no backtracking. It would pick the first version that satisfied a constraint and moved on. If that version conflicted with another dependency's requirements, the resolver gave up and your environment was toast. Second, pip output, so this goes back to a moment, right, when we used to use pip freeze and then write that to requirements.txt. This is like a let's call it pre-modern workflow. One would write, pip freeze output to a txt, and then, all right, see you guys. And then that made the environment reproducible for one machine, but brittle across different ones. Right, okay. It also made it hard to find overlapping constraints when two packages demanded different versions of the same dependency. Pip freeze, I think I skipped this part, or just maybe I glossed over it in that, but it would pin the exact version as opposed to a range is the point there. Cool. So the community tried to fix the problems with Pip. Pip tools helped orchestrate more complex dependency graphs and complex workflows. But then the environment just grew and fractured. Its use cases exploded with like data science and the Anaconda installers and things like that. So because everyone needed slightly different behavior, that fragmentation became its own ecosystem problem. Part three, manifest-based project management arrives. To address the chaos, the community introduced a new foundation for how Python projects declare and reproduce their environments. PyProject.toml gave developers a manifest file, which is an extensible syntax to declare dependencies and metadata. More importantly, it standardized how projects describe themselves, and that was new territory for Python because up to that point, every build and packaging tool could define the metadata differently. The manifest also lets developers specify the range for package compatibility, and that widened the overlap between dependency versions, making it easier for projects to coexist and for maintainers to manage long-lived code bases. In short, dependencies could fall out of alignment, but less often and less catastrophically. Then came the lock file, a graph with a hash for the entire dependency tree. For the first time, you could reproduce an identical environment across machines, but most tools still suffered from non-deterministic non-deterministic dependency resolution algorithm inherited from pip. It wasn't until 2020 that Pip's resolver was written to backtrack and become more deterministic, which is a huge step forward, but it's not perfect, or not at least as much of a hard guarantee as Rust is. So that brings us up to present in part four, the next gen tools, Poetry versus UV. So at this point, there are building blocks in place, manifests, lock files, and semi-reliable resolvers. And the question became, how should the new tools use this in the interpreter itself? And that's where Poetry and UV take different routes. Poetry continues the tradition of managing Python within Python. It wraps pip and virtual env and adds a smarter resolver and makes the experience friendly, but under the hood, it's still living inside the interpreter's mutable world, downloading and removing packages and repointing markers and rewriting paths. It inherits the same design debt that created dependency hell in the first place. You can picture Poetry asking sys.path, do you have what I need? And as we've seen, that question is full of room for error. UV flips this model somewhat. It doesn't live inside of Python. This is like a critical rupture. It lives outside of Python. It's written in Rust, and it's like an external binary. It controls Python from the outside and treats the interpreter as a tool, or like a binary to be invoked, not a stateful environment to be managed. When UV runs, it tells the interpreter, you're going to execute in this fixed environment. Nothing about that environment is mutable. It's a disposable artifact built from a guaranteed dependency graph. That guarantee comes from two things. First is UV's dependency resolver. Models Python packaging and distribution edge cases exhaustively. It doesn't guess. It produces a dependency graph that is mathematically guaranteed to work. Second is the UV lock file, which is universal. It adds new syntax and markers to model OS level boundaries and transient dependencies. And it works pretty much anywhere. Same graph, same version, same results, regardless of platform. You don't need to activate the venv. You don't need to manipulate syspath. And there's no global state. It just says run this exact environment. And that's pretty much where this ends, right? The real escape is just that it got outside of the Python interpreter and manages it from outside. UV breaks out of the Python matrix because nothing it runs depends on mutable state. It runs the Python binary as an external control interface, not as an internal interlocutor, and achieves hard reproducibility that was not guaranteed in using the interpreter otherwise. That's it. So that wasn't so much about UV as like why it became necessary, or what it builds on top of, or outside of rather. Cool. So there are the questions, corrections. I feel like somebody might want to correct a bunch of stuff I said. Okay, well, dependency hell is often when, let's say, like a transient dependency, a dependency that's a dependency that's a dependency. Fuck, sorry, a dependency that's required by one of your parent, or sorry, upper level packages that you require, and dependency hell occurs when, let's say, two libraries that you require require different versions of the same subdependency that are incompatible. We read on that point, and it kind of breaks your project. Yeah. So Rust guarantees that that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
But can you run that by me? How the guarantees? I can see how.
Yeah,
it-
yeah. Okay, so basically, they spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's so complicated about guaranteeing that a package is the package it says it is,
Mhm.
and that there are sufficient markers in the manifest for the project that it can find the right overlapping dependencies, right? Specifically, how and why is a more complicated algorithm than I can give you. There's an interesting talk by the founder of Astral, where he goes into a bit of it, but I mean, it's just largely a lot of math. But in short, they were able to use a bunch of research into Python distribution. Let's say the distribution of distribution. So like, they're able to model an understanding of a package's dependencies pretty well. Figure out really quick ways to interpret what their dependencies are, and then use Rust concurrency and speed to be able to produce a very quick a graph very, very quickly.
All right. And what about how does it handle malicious injections into the packages?
It uses hashes. Most lock files at this point do.
I see. So it's faultless in that respect.
I wouldn't say faultless.
Not
I'm sure that there are possible vectors of attack, but
Okay.
it's meant to be pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I see that we have another question. Hello, thank you for the talk.
You're welcome.
Wanted to ask you, like, where does it install the library? Does it install in the VN folder and then you source? You know how you do like how
No,
where
no, it's an external library, so it would not go in the Venv. A Venv is installed, let's say, at a particular project directory for a Python project. Um, you would install it. You install UV globally. So if you're familiar with, let's say, like pipx or something like that, like a tool that installs Python tools globally, let's say like a linter like Black or Rough that you would apply cross projects or globally. It's more like that. It lives external to a project, and let's say goes in, I don't know, your actual system root or something.
Okay, another question.
Thank you.
Few more?
Thank you for the talk.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing of adopting UV at your company?
Oh, did you say at my company?
Where you work, right? Because you're using it for
No,
work?
I have not. And so part of the reason I'm interested in it is I had recently started as the only data engineer at this company, and the only person using Python. And I spent maybe like a couple days writing an onboarding doc for other potential Python users to use Python. And then maybe 2 months later, UV arrived, and every other developer was like, "How the hell are we supposed to use UV?" And I was like, "Don't bother." But of course, I was really interested, and I'm going to switch to it. It has a bunch of interesting features that make my particular project useful, so I'm going to backtrack and implement it. I would say that it's actually supposed to be very easy to implement in that most of its usage and commands are kind of drop-in replacements for most of the more canonical tools like pip. Like you would just do UV add or whatever. It does have, say, more native syntax, but you can just UV. You can just like control F pip UV. Um, but it does have some project management features that are more robust, I guess, than poetry. It allows me to like kind of nest things, which I need to do. So I don't foresee any trouble. People are generally pretty like rosy about it, and there's although this is not meant to be a prescriptive talk that like sways you from using pip freeze into requirements.txt and so on. It's supposed to be pretty easy and highly recommended. So that's what I can say about that.
Do we have another question?
Yeah. So one more question. Have you seen any impact on the performance after using UV? Like, has it become better or worse? Like, typically, what do you see?
So I mean, it's really fast in the first place. I haven't used it extensively for, let's say, like larger projects, like doing a whole like build an AI thing. Um, but yeah, it's super fast. There's some features that it didn't have. It didn't have, for example, originally like a dedicated build backend. It now does, and one of the things I tested it on was just to like build and deploy a CLI. You can download UV What is Love, WUT IT LUV, and if you type in then what is love, it'll tell you don't hurt me, because that's the answer. But anyway, I used UV to deploy that whole thing as an experiment and for fun. What was the question? Oh, is it fat? Is it getting better? Yeah, it's getting better. They're adding features to it. And I guess another thing to note though is it's meant to replace like a whole suite of the Python toolchain. So like, for example, Astral, the company that runs it, builds it, maintains it, has a tool called Rough, which is a linter. And the idea, of course, is like they would pretty much like have this like monolithic Python tool chain. So they're going to constantly, it's going to be this like agglomerative project where they're just going to like keep adding stuff to it. But yeah, I mean, it's meant to be like both all of the following, you know, project management, deployment, testing, validation. I don't know if that you consider this kind of like monolithic ownership of the tool chain better, but yeah, it's certainly growing in its use cases and becoming more efficient. I heard eat up and missed the rest, but I think that's the point, yes. Oh no, sorry, not that kind of project management, but in this, sorry, project management in the sense that like you have a repository that contains a bunch of scripts that need to be run, and other people need to run those scripts or add to them and so on. That's a great clarification. Did anybody else get confused about that? I apologize. All right.
So the next is Arunes. Talk about AI in a pocket and the revolution of one device. So just a time to switch the computer. Okay, we try it. Hope it's work. Okay, so.
I'm just gonna mirror the screens. let's see. Yeah, yeah, that will work. Okay, it's not sharing. Can you see this one? No, there. No.
I am not seeing the same source.
Mhm. Screen. Yeah, let's do that.
We have the one screen, Mélanie.
Yeah, let me.
On a un écran, c'est juste pas le bon. On voit celui où il y a on voit celui que tu fais bouger là. On voit conférencier.
Okay, it works. Okay. Let me see. So I think that got lost.
Et c'est parfait parce qu'on voit celui que vous présentez. Ok, parfait.
Yep. Okay, let's do some sound testing here. Okay, it works. Hello, everyone. Oh, I can hear myself. Yeah, it is actually. My name is Arunesh Chaudhary. Okay. Go to Ninja. In your pocket. Is there anybody else? You can? I can't. It's good. Hello. Yeah, I think I should be good. Hey, is that okay or no? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
It could be easy. Yeah.
try one more time. Is that good? No? Good? Yeah, so I think we connect the audio, so that's why maybe it didn't work. Okay, so where we were, yeah. AI in the pocket. So people, the big guys, they have our data. Each query that we send to any of the cloud providers, they have the data. I am myself, I have worked 7 years in as a system administrator. Your single packet doesn't go without a footprint. We have all the data. We have all the eyes on the data, right? So for me, with the data privacy, there's no term like data privacy. So what I can do when I don't want to send my data out. So I'm working on a project or on a startup. Maybe here's somebody who is working on a startup. When I would send out the data out, the idea out. So what we can do, what they have, they will find out all the data. So if you have AI in your pocket, that's where I am trying to give the idea where we can, what we can do, what the new technology Google is providing. So that's me. And let's get into the topic. From cloud to your pocket. For the cloud, like we have to pay around $35 for the subscription to do the AI, to use the AI on our laptop, on our mobiles, wherever you want it. It's faster, for sure. It's smarter. But they're using large language models. Everybody here, I believe you are aware about the large language models, but we are gonna just talk briefly about it. What is large language model? What they do? They are trained. They are trained on a bigger, huge amount of data. It's a core technology behind today's conversation AI. So they are using the data that we have from so many years, and now we can get answer based on those data. So that's large language models, and for me, it's not enough. Large language models is not enough. Like there are reasons. First reason I have already mentioned: privacy concerns. I do have privacy concerns where I don't want to send or let. So what I'm talking to my lawyer, and I don't want to tell everybody else, hey, everybody, this is what I'm working on. So because I am French is gonna be my fourth language. English is not my first language. I can barely speak it, but I'm trying to be here just because I want to do this kind of stuff. But the thing is, these languages are not my first languages. So I just want a gibberish. I have written something, I put together something. I just want to make it look better in English. Sometimes I get stuck in English and other languages. I just want that sentence to be built nicely and sent forward. That's my only job. Before that, I don't want to pay $35 for sure. So then see real-time response. Large language models, you have data, you send data to cloud. It takes some time. If your internet is slow, it's gonna take time. Latency, if their servers are busy, that's gonna take time. High compute cost for sure, right? That we all know, and energy uses. Another thing now, so large language model to small language models. So why I am pushing towards it, like why my presentation is on about this? Same reason: privacy concerns, cost. It's effective. I want results right away. I was showing a demo today to my friend Hall, and he was like, hey, my phone is on airplane mode. It was giving me the output that I wanted. And it really did a good job. If I have a time, I'll show the demo. So it's a small, a big. So there is a difference. What is the difference? Large language models, they have data. They can connect to the new language. They can connect to the RAG. using RAG, we can get the latest information. On the other side, these small language models, they are not trained really heavily. They are good enough for my use case to just improve the sentences, to send the email out, to format the email, or other things as well that will go in the next slides. So large language models trained on billions of parameters, cloud-based for sure. You cannot install on your phone or your laptop. General purpose reasoning, high training. On the other side, small language models, they are good on, they can be installed on device. So here's the thing, I don't know if you guys have experienced it. You have a camera somewhere. I worked in a company where we use cameras in a remote location. So camera was recording every single thing. Either the leaf is like there's a wind, it will record it, right? But if I have this model and I say, if you see a human or an animal or a bird, then only you click the picture or video for 2 seconds and send it to me. How effective that will be? It will use less internet to send back and forth data. It will use less resources, right? And it can be used in a remote location. It doesn't need a cloud-based technology. So that's small language models. They are lower cost, faster, energy efficient for our use. So I don't know if you have heard about this Gemini from Google. Google has Gemini where it is proprietary. They you they are not telling how they are doing it. They are not telling any information about it, how they trained it, what data they are using it. It's strictly their high-end model that we're using today. That's Gemini. But Gemma, which is an open weight model for Gemma, open weight, open source. Yes, it is open weight. So what is open weight? So open weight means they trained the data, they trained on the data, they trained it, they just released the weights, but they didn't share the code. They didn't share how they did it, right? So as a developer, I have some restrictions to use Gemma, but I'm free to use and implement and fine tune for my use case. But this is they clearly mention in their uh, privacy document that it should be used for a responsive responsibly. It should be used for a responsive use case only. Based on the same research, yes. So Gemini, what the research they did for Gemini to build the Gemini models, the same is for the Gemma. So Gemma is kind of open, Gemini is closed. So that's the Gemma family. We're just gonna quickly go through this. They started in 2024, and 2025 we got Gemma 3 and Gemma 3N. And Gemma 3N, where I am more interested to show today. So let's go through the Gemma family. So text only, 270 million and 1 billion tokens only, text only. So Gemma 3, this is only text only. You can just, it's conversational. You can send the text, it will reply back to you with text. No audio, no images, nothing. It runs on the device, really cool. If I have a time, I'll show you. Multimodal. In a multimodal 4B 1227. It works on workstations. It can work on workstation and cloud and server for 12 billions and for 27 billion with parameters. And Gemma 3N is also multimodal, where you can send the text, image, audio, and it is effective 2 billion, effective 4 billion, and it's on device. So that is the cool stuff when you have installed. I have installed on my phone. Like I left my dependency over there, but we will see. Yes, open source. I already talked about this, and this from okay. So we don't have for the Pixel 10. So Pixel 10. Actually, that was the presentation. That was the Pixel 10 introduction. I wanted to play, but I didn't play it. Just want to go really fast. On Pixel 10, all this technology you don't have to download it. On my phone, on Samsung, I had to download it and use it. Where on Pixel, it's already inbuilt, so you don't have. But if you don't have Pixel 10 or any the Pixel 10 family, so what you can do? So there's an Android application. If you can scan this barcode, QR code, Google AI Edge Gallery. This is really cool. So they have for image, for audio, for prompt from AI chat. So use this QR code, download if you have Android, give a try. It just takes 4 gigs of CPU space. That's it, nothing too much. And you will be able to use it on your phone. Put your phone on after downloading the model, put it on your on airplane mode, it will still work. So use it for receipt. So that's one of the use case they have on their website. So you have a receipt, it tell you how much you have it. It will split the prices. And the next one is for the audio. This is from their website, but I want to show you the audio from my what I have built. So I'm learning from. Oh, sorry. I think I need to connect to the audio. Je suis nouveau à Montréal et je suis français. La meilleure façon d'apprendre une nouvelle langue est de rencontrer des autochtones et de commencer à converser. I have zero information. What I don't know what it is, right? So, but this is what I wrote in English. Hey, I'm new, right? And then it says right over there, I'm new to Montreal, but I didn't say I am French. I don't know. It's just a model. We are in this model is in a learning phase. I'm new to Montreal, French. I think it was a good translation. Yes or no? No, not at all. Okay, so as that. So, but okay. So what I did, so went on translator application. I wrote this sentence exactly, and it spoke this way, and then I recorded it, and then gave it back to the model. So I'm surprised that I had nobody to test it out. So demo failed. That's fine. We'll do the next time better next time. Yeah. It was not even close. No? It was close enough. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let me go back then. Okay. So for the prompt, so same thing for OpenAI, you can use as a prompt, but for the audio, so I recorded audio for less than 30 seconds. So, and then it translated back to English, but it was close as you guys have confirmed it. But this is open, kind of open family models where they are learning it every day and they are implementing, they, they are releasing the models like really frequently. For the prompts, we can use it, and also we can use for the AI chat, but this is all happening on your phone. That's what I'm trying to say here. We can build it. You can use Colab, you can use Kaggle, you can download the model. I'm not saying just use Google. Like competitors are way beyond. Like they are doing the great stuff, right? They are Mistral, Meta. They're doing great stuff. but Google is trying to get there. So this is the one of the things that I got introduced 2 or 3 weeks ago about Gemma, and then now I'm presenting, even myself, I'm testing these tools out. So for the image as well, so you have the image for this one. If you have an image, you can share the image and you can describe the image, and it will describe the image really well. So one of my demo didn't work. Let's see if I can try the other demo. Yeah, so I'm going towards the end of my presentation. The whole idea about the presentation is it's not too much in for the Python, but it was all about what you can use it. If you go to Kaggle, if you go to um, Colab, right, you can download the model from Hugging Face and then use it for your own use case. So I have one Colab notebook where I used this model like I was using right here, and it worked. No, it really worked. So all the all the models, all the queries that we are sending out to all these cloud providers, if my use case is really tiny where I just use a general conversation, or it's all around the formation of the sentences, and formation of the, I just need there's board outside, it's written in French. I don't know, Melanie was showing something for the application. I had no clue what she was representing, but thanks to her, she explained in English as well. So I used a tool to see what is on the screen, right? So so this is, I'm keeping my data to myself, I'm not sending it out. So this is all for Python developers to use the Gemma model and implement for your own use case, and make it better. You can use the, you don't know how they trained it, you don't have the code, source code, but you can fine tune it for your own use case. So it's going from cloud to your pocket, if that makes sense. Thank you so much. And I'm open for the any questions you may have. Okay, too many questions. I didn't do a good job, eh?
I'm
There's
ready.
so many questions. Okay, let's go.
So basically what you're saying is that Google AI Edge Gallery is an application that you can download onto your mobile phone and you can run small language models, well, maybe only the Gemma models locally on your phone.
Yes.
That's the idea.
Yes.
Okay.
If I don't know, let's do a poll here. If you want to see a demo, I will take just 3 minutes. Good. Can I have my phone, please? 1 second.
I just downloaded it. Take 1 minute. Let it work.
But I really hope it does work. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. You can see my phone right there, right? So now, this is the Edge Gallery. Can you read this one? So I was showing Tell this thing. So before coming, Melanie has posted something on LinkedIn about both of us. I copy pasted there, and it said translate in English, right? And if you go to any translate application, and I'll show you later on, but if you see, my phone is on airplane right now. I don't have data. So it says everything about what she mentioned in English, and now see, this thing is really cool. So each single word. Like I know what she said, but I also want to learn it. So it has that thing. And now let's try something different. I don't know if okay, let me see if I can find something, and we'll go from there. Learning. Here you go.
Don't hesitate to follow Montréal Python's page.
Yeah.
And me if you want.
Translate English. So I'm on airplane mode, more on CPU for sure. I don't have TPU on my phone. And let's see. I hope it should work. Hey, please, please. It's free, it's open to everyone. Above all, a wonderful opportunity to connect with the passionate community.
It's a
Good?
pretty good translation. Yeah.
It's good. Perfect. But then later on, few other options. Okay, let's see. Perfect. Little more in detail. So this is what I'm trying to. This is what I'm using for myself as for every day as well. So for the if I need to send an email out, I don't want to tell my company. Oh, like they know it, like you might say, hey, they don't care, but yes, they don't care. They are not specifically about it. If I hope it is not, I don't know, it's not a conversation. I don't want to, I want to keep it simple, but let me give this example. Something happened in US 2 months ago, or I don't know when. Then there was whole history of that person was out. This person was googling about this, and how come FBI didn't know about this, right? So he was googling it. He was trying to figure this out. So what it tells us, they have all the data, right? So government, they have rights to ask for the data if some person is using, right? So I'm not saying doing something malicious. That's why they say use this one for responsibly. So now it gives all the information. Let's do one thing really quickly. We're gonna take an image. Let's ask for the image, and let's take a picture.
How many people in the
And from
room?
the other side, please cheese. Okay. Please describe the image. If I can type well today. Sorry. I'm taking all this time so that you don't have time to ask the questions. What did I say today? I shouldn't. Okay. Image is a wide angle, upward looking. Okay. Here's the breakdown. Let's see. People, they are a considerable member. Ooh, that's what I want in my presentation. Okay, sitting at a desk, arranged in neat rows. Okay, posture expressions vary. Some are smiling, others are looking at the screen, and some appear to be actively participating. Good. Settings. Nothing is happening on the internet. It's on everything on my phone. Yes, my phone is a little slow, but it's doing the work that I'm asking. Lightning is good. Thank you. It's NAD, right? Okay. Yep. Yeah. So this is whole idea about the presentation. Let's build something that you have full control on. You have used OpenAI APIs, build something where, but now companies they don't want their data to be gone out. They are saying that we will keep your data on their own servers, segregated somewhere like on a specific servers, but still they have overall data. So we can use audio, we can use image. These are multimodal and they are running on phone. It pure privacy, data is not going anywhere. You keep it and you use it how you want it. That is my presentation. Thank you so much.
Is there any question?
How was this? Good. Right, yeah. No, I was impressed as well. So that this is my second talk on Gemma, and I'm really impressed. And I'm learning, and now this is on the app, but now I'm going after how to use with Python, and that is maybe next time if I get the opportunity. At that time, I'll come back with having some other use case and run on the with Python. Yes.
Yes, thank you. I have a question. I ask if this privacy has a price, because you right now you can use it freely and free version, but does this privacy and having this application on your phone have a price? You will have to pay more than using the version on the website.
Um, I don't know if you are aware. Google is little behind with everything, right? So they are trying to catch up. We already have so many open models out there, open source. Like we have all the code, we have all the pipelines they have built in, right? This one is little closed, open weights. They have just model we can tweak it, but no. Once they say it's free to use. There is a price. Suppose this model is not trained on Spanish, it can't do it. Like, but with OpenAI model or Meta or Mistral, their data, their model can use because they are trained on a larger training data, right? So they can use it. For this one, on my phone, I downloaded around 8 gigs of model, like two models, uh, 4 gig, I think three models. That's how it comes to 4, 2, or 2 or something. So yeah, there is. I don't think so. There's gonna be pricing because there are gonna be people like me who wanna keep data to themselves and use it responsibly. Yes.
What are the hello? Thank you for the talk. What are the alternatives to the system? Like, I know, for example, Olama and this type of systems. What's like, yeah, what are the alternatives and the pros and cons and so on?
On device. Okay, so when I was, I think October 25th, I had a talk in London, Ontario. While I was going traveling there, I read a blog from Apple. So iOS 17, they have this thing already on their phone. They have it. So no, same model. The functionality that your data stays on your phone. So yes. So if you are following the new blogs with the AI field, like where they are going, they are trying to attract the audience that was saying, "Hey, AI is not good. You guys are taking my data. I don't want to use you." Say, I'll hey come to this side. We have open models as well. So with iOS 17, there is a functionality. I think it's called Apple Intelligence or something. So you keep your data on your device. You put it on airplane mode. You can use it for the same thing that I just showed you here. App is their own app on the iPhones. Yes. Hmm? No, it's not. It's the The app is theirs. The model they have, they're not giving same as Gemma, but the thing is, it's on their phone already. You can use it. You are out where there is no internet at all. You can still use it to some extent with these some little use cases.
Another question?
I think there was over there.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm just curious, do the Gemma models, do they support tool calling?
They support?
Tool calling. It's sort of like in the prompt, you can give it a, a list of functions, and then you say something like maybe you have an API for getting the weather in various places. And you say, what's the weather going to be like in Quebec City on Tuesday? And it'll look for the appropriate function and call it and give you the answer.
But that's where we are going towards the RAG technology, where it's connecting to the current website, the weather website, right? It's gonna get the data from that website, right?
Well,
when you're
yes, it will. But the thing is, does the model support the tool calling where you give it the functions and it knows which function to look up and get the data and give you an answer? Because some of the I'm thinking some of the models, like some of the llama models, like 3.2, it's a relatively small model, but it supports tool calling.
Yeah, okay, I know. Okay, I got you what you're saying. I haven't experienced this one but myself. But here's the thing, I'm towards the privacy concerns where I don't want to give my query out, right? So I got your point. This is good. Olama can do it. This one might be able to do it. I haven't tried. That is gonna go through when we go use the Python and then build and bring in all the APIs, and then we can use the model for the greater extent. But for this one, when I don't even have internet connectivity, right? But I just need my idea to be get out of my head and in a written form, or I have an image, I'm somewhere out, hey, describe the image or give me some information about the image. So if you see on the from the other side, from a person who needs some help, they is not able to um, like read the board clearly, take the picture, hey, describe the image to me and read it back to me, right? So in that way it will help. But for the next presentation, I'm noting down your question, and then let's see if I will try to figure out if there's anything that this model can use it, but I haven't used it myself. But thank you for the
Oh, okay. That's my experiences with llama.
No, that's
Okay,
good.
thanks a lot for your answer.
Thank you so much for your question. Thank you.
We have another question here. Oh, okay, it was an answer.
That's it.
Any other question in the room? All good? Thank you a
Perfect.
lot.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Let me switch in my computer. Okay, perfect. So thanks a lot. It's the end of the conference, but not the last. Ah. Plus haut, c'est bon. But it's not the last conference for this year. So, le prochain événement, ça sera MP117 qui sera le 13 novembre. Vous pouvez déjà vous inscrire sur Meetup Ça nous fera plaisir de vous réaccueillir, même endroit, même lieu, d'autres conférences, évidemment. Et aussi, si vous avez envie de faire encore plus avant le 13 novembre, on a Linux Rencontre qui est le 4 novembre. Martial n'est pas dans le coin, mais il est là. C'est Martial qui organise ça. Ça se passe à l'ETS, puis c'est gratuit et c'est aussi des conférences sur plus autour de Linux, mais toujours de tech. Donc, merci à vous. Il y a les QR codes à l'extérieur pour ceux qui veulent devenir mentor ou faire un workshop. Et on vend des petits stickers Montréal Python. Si vous voulez soutenir l'association, vous pouvez venir me voir et vous pourrez acheter des stickers. Et thanks a lot for your attention and go to pizza. So, thanks.